We are the Hebrew Israelites. We come out every week to let our people know who happen to be the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans scattered across the four corners of the earth throughout their fatherland, that who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ is coming back to save and redeem his chosen people, the elect of those said people.
That's right.
Not the whole world, like you may think John 3:16 says. We'll start first by giving honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Shai, Kahallah Yahweh Hashem Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Greetings and salutations to you brothers that do the work with sincerity and truth. Shalom. Now we have to tell our people who they are, because a lot of people walking around thinking that they Negroes or Mexicans or Native American Indians or whatever, and they're really the children of God. Thus says the Bible.
That's right.
Another thing we have to tell you, that when this movie Exodus came out, that they didn't depict nobody in their biblical nationality. They allowed all these white people to go up there and just tell you that the Egyptians is white and that the Negroes is white. And there's actually a protest or a boycott of the movie talking about because they cast all white people in the movie. You know? Well, the leading roles were casted as white people.
Yep. And there's nothing new. They've been doing that for years now, man.
Yep.
Going back into the history. Now, in modern day form, the iconoclasm is basically portraying people in history that were people of color as being so-called white people. That's the modern day iconoclasm. But the iconoclasm back during the time of the Renaissance was when this devil came into power and started painting the likeness of our images,
right.
Turning the people in history, the great people of history, into so-called white people. You know, painting the images, you know, changing their likeness, their facial structure, painting the likeness of the actual people a lighter color than they originally were.
Yeah.
That's called the whitewashing, man. So of course they're gonna do it in the movies.
Right.
There's no new thing under the sun.
And the problem is, there's a few people that know the difference, but majority of you people don't ever consider or just take what you see at face value. Just take it as straight up as face value for what it is. Oh, white, the Egyptians are white, or the Jews are white.
Everybody's white all of a sudden, right?
Yeah,
the Native Americans are white.
Yeah.
the Anglo-Saxons are white. You know,
the Moors are white.
The Moors were white.
Moor means black.
You know, everybody was white. You know what I'm saying?
Scott means black.
And really what they're saying is ignorant, because you're saying everything is pure, because that's what white symbolizes. You know, but you're not white. Ain't no person on the planet the color of a white piece of paper, man.
Right.
You either a shade of brown or a shade of red.
Right.
But you was taught that by your oppressors, that there's only black or white.
Right.
That's ignorance.
And a lot of you people are willingly ignorant because you don't stop and question or do any research to find out the truth about nothing.
That's right.
But we do it. And the Spirit has us doing that. That's right. We're looking up stuff. That's it.
This is the book of Job, chapter 9. Pull that. Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
If you don't know who the wicked on the earth today is, go back in history, do the research, and look at who broke all the treaties, who raped, robbed, and murdered the whole earth, that's raping the earth of all its natural resources, that wants control of everything and want everybody to follow after them.
Yep.
That you'll know who the wicked is.
That's right.
And they're called the bro. And they're called the wicked because of what they do according to the Bible, well, against the Bible.
That's right. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. One of the faces of the judges is Moses. The main one is who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ. They covered that face with that image. And that's it. Here's a bigger one. That's Caesar Borgia from the Roman Empire. From the Roman Empire.
The reincarnation of the Roman Empire.
Right. You know,
Caesar Borgia from the Renaissance, when they came into power, the first crime family.
Yep.
You know, that's
the son of the Pope.
The son of the Pope. You know, Rodrigo Borgia, man.
Yep.
And they were just vile deviants, man.
But when you read the Bible, it don't say that the Lord looked like that.
Yep.
It actually pretty much says the opposite, that he had bronze skin as if it burned in a furnace, that he had white woolly hair, as white as snow, not blonde, not strawberry blonde, or lighter shade of brown type hair, or tan. It wasn't none of that. It said he was very dark skinned, and when you read, that was his feet. So when you read the scriptures, you should be able to tell that that's his feet.
Right.
And his eyes were red with fire. The whites of his eyes were red. Not he didn't have blue eyes. None of that.
Right. It says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
If not him, who is he? If he ain't the devil on the earth or the wicked on the earth, the so-called white man ain't that, then who is it then? Who else has done all the fucked up shit to everybody on the planet but him? Who's the one outcast on the earth that says he's everybody, that lies to your face, that puts people in slavery, in harsh slavery? Who does all of that? And then take their heritage and their identity. Who does that? Who's waging wars for money, that's sending out his own people as well as the other people to believe in his gods and to go and fight his wars to gain him money? Who does that?
Right. It's First Maccabees 3 and 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen,
the book of the law of the Bible,
wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And the biggest heathen is the so-called white man.
That's right.
Everybody in the world is a heathen, but those are the Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, Israel, in the Bible. Everybody else is a heathen. And the biggest heathen sought to paint the likeness of their own images as our Lord, as the Most High God, as our people. And they're proving it with this movie also.
There's no, and this is going back during the time of when the Ptolemies were, when the Greeks basically, when the Greeks came into power, you had the Seleucid and the Ptolemaic empires. Each empire, they was pushing their influence upon the masses, and mainly it was influencing Jake. And once they did that, they started whitewashing, you know what I'm saying, back then. You know? Jake, we was worshiping the Most High, and we had our laws. But once this devil, this so-called white man came into power, he came in and basically just wiped away our worship, our images, you know, and started painting his own likeness in the form of his own self.
So let me add to it, as well as taking away our high holy days and putting up their idol worship days for us to follow. Like one of them is Christmas coming up. A lot of our people don't even know what Christmas is about. It ain't about Christ. The word Christ wasn't even a word back then when he walked the earth. A lot of you people that call yourself Christians don't even know what the word Christ or Christian means. You want to talk about that? Talk about, well, the point I'm making with that is just that you don't know sin. That because you're willingly ignorant, you go off and you just believe everything this so-called white man tell you, like he ain't ever lied to you in your life before. Like he ain't ever lied in history before. That's all he's been doing the whole time. But he's confused you so much that you believe it now. Because it's just easier to go with what he say. Well, that time's up, man. That time is over. It's time for all these lies to be brought out to light, man, and the truth to come out. And this Bible has the truth. You can't say his name ain't truth about what's going on in this world. Everywhere that this man is ruling, all the countries that he's in control over is in an uproar. And the other countries is ready. They just wait like, yep, he ain't controlling over here, but we ready to pop his ass off too. We can't wait to get a piece of America. There's number one bully out there.
Right.
That was it on that note. Matter of fact, let me get this, matter of fact, go to one in Exodus 1, like 7 or something like that.
Read it.
Yeah.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 7.
Now the point out we're going to read this for because the white man even stole what the Egyptians used to do to us. That's why he's able to paint himself as the Egyptian also. because he even stole all his other things. That's why there's that's why America's modern day Egypt anyway. But that's why there's a pyramid at the end of this block. There's one in Memphis, and they're all over the place. That's why they changed the nose or chopped the nose off of the Sphinx over there in Giza or Gaza. That's why they took that down. Because you would know it's a fat nose and it wouldn't represent these so-called white people when they were doing their iconoclastic whitewashing.
Hey, if you people don't understand,
No, he's right though.
I'm
He's
making
right.
a present, brother.
If you don't mind, can I touch it or no?
Of course you can, man, but it's one of these a bit wet still.
Okay, so if you could just flash it for the camera.
No, I'll leave it for you here. Yeah. I put the 3 pyramids for you.
Appreciate that. That's still.
Hafra Monkara. That's where I
Appreciate
played the word.
Appreciate that, man. Hey,
There you go,
appreciate it.
bro.
Thank you.
I'm your neighbour.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Could you, if you could, turn it down just a little. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it, man. Anyway, so that's the point. The point is, they
that's
have
spiritual.
those
Huh? You know, he brought that painting up of the pyramids and all that,
and the
man.
planets.
And the right.
Because they do go back to worship in the heavens.
Yep.
Worship in astrology and all of that. But this white man thinks that's his role. That's why he runs NASA and all that other stuff as well. And you people just follow it. You don't even know that the so-called Mexicans are way better, and the Incas and the Mayans and all of them were way better, and the Aztecs were way better astrologers. You know, way better astrologers. When they built the pyramids over in Central and South America, they were way better than the ones over there in Egypt. They built them on purpose, and they line up with the same constellations as well. But the point is, the so-called white man, he always wants to paint himself as all those images. You know?
Hey, and going back to speaking about on Ptolemy, the Ptolemies, they was the one that had they ran Egypt, the whole southern part from our land all the way down to like Egypt. That was where the Ptolemies started running their dynasty, man. But it all started with Alexander the Great. We call him Alexander the Great. Y'all call him Alexander the Great, which was nothing great about that devil. He was a homosexual. You know what I'm saying? That came in.
To our people was great.
Exactly.
The homosexuality and the wickedness he brought to the planet was great.
He was a faggot that caught syphilis.
Yep.
You know?
Died from that shit.
That's it. But that was the man that conquered, and he's the reason why you have the Library of Alexandria to this very day, where they keep records.
Yep.
You know?
Half of his 4 generals ruled the north and half ruled the south, and then they started splitting up and warring between each other after that.
Right.
You know,
So
that's how
now-
they got the records of putting themselves in them lands.
So if you think that the Egyptians were white, then you're starting at the Greek period, man.
Right.
Because
Going
prior
back
to
far enough.
prior to the Greeks ruling, that wasn't so, man.
Right.
The original Egyptians were dark-skinned people, man. They were heathens. They were that so-called you would call Africans today. Matter of fact, the Watusis and the Zulus and the Sudanese are the original Egyptian people today, man. But they got pushed during the time in history. They got pushed further south into the land of Africa, man.
Yeah.
And now all you got is nothing but crackers and Ishmaelites, Arabs over there, man. And then you might even have some of our people sprinkled up in that area somewhere, man.
With big Roman persecution.
You know?
Yeah. Every time they besieged Jerusalem, every time this white man had a chance, he could be fighting with himself or with whoever else in the world, he would put hell on us. You know, because and that goes to show this white man ain't invented with nothing, man. He even goes back and steals the strategies of these other heathen nations.
He takes their warships. He takes their warships, man. He just put another name to their god and put a spin to it.
Yep.
He took all the gods that this devil worship go back to the Hamites, man. The Babylonians and the Egyptians.
Yep.
When they celebrated Saturnalia and all that shit in Rome, ancient Rome, that go back to the same deity that the Hamites were worshiping, man.
Yep. I got this right here. It's a Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary, definition of Ham. It says, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. Now, we read this when that Noah movie came out also. Because they wasn't white either then.
Yep.
But you can't even cast what's his name that played in that
I think
role?
they had Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe. You can't
Russell
even cast
Crowe.
Russell Crowe in there. He ain't dark enough. Anyway, it says one of 8 persons.
Even though he might be a Jake,
Right.
might be a Jake,
But
he's still, you know what I'm saying, they could have had somebody like Blair Underwood or
Right.
Denzel or somebody, man.
Right.
You know?
It said, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood, he became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians,
But the Egyptians.
the Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
Hey, so it's common knowledge. We know that the Ethiopians are dark-skinned people. They hella dark, man. And they're listing them as the same, having the same fathers as the Egyptians.
Well,
So all you could do is rule out the fact that they could ever be so-called white people, man. Or
white
like,
people.
you know.
And the sad part is you believe that the Jews and the Egyptians could possibly be white, but then you don't believe the fact that that Africa was named after a white man, though.
Right,
Like you think that they named that for themselves,
right.
which ain't the truth.
Yep.
But going back in that, go back to Exodus.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 5. And all the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already.
Yep.
And Joseph died, and all his brethren and all that generation. And the children of Israel were fruitful. And the children of Salah, and increased abundantly, and multiplied, and waxed exceedingly mighty, and the land was filled with them.
Yep, hey, they will start to fill up the land. Just like in this Egypt right now, the Jake is filling up this land also.
Hey, and this a lot, bro. I gotta bring this out, cause I recently just peeped. Al-Azhar was debating with Polite, and this basically, in a roundabout way, this discussion was about how we could have. Polite's argument was that how we could have been under the Egyptians for so long, and we not come out of Egypt as Egyptians because in their term, captivity equals rape. So we've been raped for so long. How couldn't we have came out the Egyptians if we've been in captivity under them for 400 years? Well, this is the answer to your question. The reason why we didn't come out as Egyptians when we came out of the land of Egypt was because we multiplied, man. In the land, while we were in captivity, we were still multiplying.
Right.
And are you trying to tell me that because where you're getting at is because we teach that you are your fathers, you know, your nationality is determined by your fathers. So if the Egyptians were raping Israelites, then that means that they were laying their seed among us. So therefore, we at one point in time were Israelites, but then we became Egyptians.
But you don't realize the man carries a seed. So if he didn't kill all the Israelite men, no matter what woman he was dealing with, if them men laid seed in any woman, they came out as Israelites, and that's why we're still here today.
That's right, man.
That's why when you want to destroy a race, you destroy the men of that race.
That's right.
That's how you do it.
That's right.
That's gonna happen to the so-called white man in the kingdom of heaven.
Right. Hey, in all of our captivities, why you think that they were breeding? Why were they having slaves breeding? It's because so they can have more slaves to continue to maintain their empire.
Yep.
They need somebody to build it up. They need somebody to maintain it and keep it running
Putting their
off
teeth
of the
in
slave
DNA
labor.
ain't gonna be good enough.
You know.
That's why they wanna do that to their own.
Now they'll take a few of the women of your nation and show you their power. Like, well, we got your women, we can have our way with them. But how often do you think that they were doing that? They still had to make sure that we were breeding amongst ourselves, so that not only our line could continue, but also so they could keep us in bondage, and more slaves would be produced.
Right.
That's how slavery kept going for hundreds of years, man.
Yep.
So I don't know why you keep bringing that argument, Polite. You know, that's what I wanted to say about that. You know what I'm saying? Because we see that Al-Azhar was down there debating with him. Hey, bro, I would have left that alone. I wouldn't be debating that dude, man. ain't nothing gonna get through to those clowns, man. You wasting your. I'm not trying to rebuke you, but I'm trying to show you. You know where this. You've been doing this for a minute now. You already know where this is going.
This motivation ain't what our motivation is. Now
Y'all not gonna reach the same. You're not gonna reach the same vocal point, man. He gonna come with his shit, and then you already know we gonna stand with this word.
Yeah.
You know.
Their motivation is something else. So it don't matter what, like right before the camera got cut on, the lady was like, hey, you ain't gonna want to get this because if we tell you that you can't smoke, you're gonna want to go off the block. You know that it's ain't for you. But so if we bring out a scripture that say you ain't supposed to smoke, what you gonna do with that cigarette? You gonna throw it out?
Yep.
No, I'm gonna smoke it. Then go off the block. You no matter what, because her motivation is about that cigarette. It ain't about getting right and hearing the word of God. Just like Paul White said. Anyway, like we said, we with you, bro. You know, it ain't about, as long as we both in the same doctrine, we on the same team, no matter what nobody say. That's the team we own, about the doctrine of Yahweh Shemel Shah. We just, but that dude ain't know about that, man. He ain't about the truth.
That's right, man.
Let's go back into that. Because the white man, like we said, the white man even stole the ways to rule slaves. And how to prosper off slaves, he stole it from the Egyptians who did it first to Jacob.
Yep. It says, now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph.
Yep.
And he said unto his people, behold, the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Come on and let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out of the land.
And see, this is the king that the so-called white man follows after. About, we got to keep a foot on their neck so we keep control of them, because we let them rise up and start thinking for themselves a little bit, they're going to rise up and overthrow us. Not realizing that it's tied into the Most High. That's going to make it happen regardless. Either way.
Hey, and there's no ending to any seed line, man.
Right.
A seed line is forever, man. As long as a spirit is eternal, so is a seed line on the earth, man.
Except the so-called white man in the kingdom of heaven.
Except Esau. That's the only line that's gonna get cut off, man.
Right.
But every other line is gonna keep going, man.
Yep.
So you damn right, we still Israelites, Polite. We were still Israelites when we came out of Egypt, and we still Israelites today.
Yep. We didn't switch over.
We ain't no goddamn Egyptians, man.
But why are we Americans now? They did it to us. Why are we Americans now?
Right. And Egypt and the Egyptians are still here. They just not in the land of Egypt.
Right.
They just not in the land of Egypt, man.
The Mizraimites are still on the earth.
Exactly. Verse 11. Therefore they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens, and they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, and they were grieved because of the children of Israel. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, in mortar and in brick, in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor.
Now, if you think about that, and you've been living as a so-called Negro or Hispanic or Native or whatever, right? You should know that can sound like what we talking about today, about what the so-called slavery went through. You know, whether they were building railroads or building up these cities in America. But the white man is ruling this Egypt now, and not the old Egypt.
Right.
So, all right, let's go from there. Let me read in the that's pretty much it, right? Let me read out of this article right here. This is out of the Christian. Let's see. This is out of Christian Today website, and it says Exodus, Gods and Kings face boycott, calls over all-white lead cast. This is by published on the 21st. It's in July, but basically it says right here, excitement over the upcoming Exodus, Gods and Kings film has turned into protests over all-white leading cast. The action-packed film is an adaptation, and try to get out of it probably with that word adaptation, of the biblical story of Moses, a Hebrew who was adopted by Pharaoh's daughter and frees the Israelites from Egyptian slavery. While white actors were cast in the lead roles, black actors were cast as slaves. You see the mental game that they play with you? They continue to play that mental game that you ain't nothing but a slave, that you ain't nothing but, that you can't be the Egyptians, that the Egyptians can't be dark-skinned, that Hebrews can't be dark-skinned. But that's exactly who you are. The real Hebrews have brown skin, whether it's light brown or dark brown. Who you call Jesus Christ was a so-called black man.
That's right.
Moses was a so-called black man, if they were known today.
Lord willing, we're gonna try to order that book, Nature Knows No Color Line, man.
Yeah.
So you can show how how far back in history we was ruling, man, as Negroes. I mean, man.
Yeah.
You could go back, these niggas in that Egyptology shit, but even they know when you go back to their so-called texts or whatever, or their hieroglyphs, you will see that there were Nubian people and Egyptian people as dark-skinned people, and they had another dark race in captivity, man.
Yeah.
Now, who were those dark people that these other dark people had in captivity? The Hebrews.
Right.
Which you will find in this book, in the scriptures.
Hey, if I may say, bro, a lot of you people just with this movie are learning that the Hebrews were not Egyptians and that they were in slavery.
Yep.
Them people were the ones building the pyramids. Them people were the ones that were in slavery at that time.
Yep.
They wasn't doing it because, we like pyramids, so we're going to build a pyramid for ourselves. No. The Egyptians didn't build that themselves. They had Hebrews build that for them. You got to just learn that. Continuing the article, says the Ridley Scott directed movie features Christian Bale as Moses, Sigourney Weaver as his adopted mother, Queen Tuya, John Turturro as Pharaoh Seti. It's funny, that's the closest that you can come. That's the closest but he's a Pharaoh though. That's the problem instead of being a Jake. I think John Turturro's a Jake anyway. But he's light-skinned. Anyway, it says, and Joel Edgerton as Moses' adopted brother, Ramses II. It says it's white Moses versus white Pharaoh saving a bunch of white guys from the other bunch of white guys, none of whom should actually be white. Read a headline on the movie blog site Twitch. How can you make excuses for whitewashing ancient Egypt? There's more, but
hey man, all it goes back to is white supremacy. That's all that goes back to, man.
I gotta read this next.
It's white supremacy, man.
Yeah. It says there's no way I will support subliminal racism. White people are always our heroes, huh? Even for the Egyptians, another said. In the iconic 1956 film, The Ten Commandments, also has all-white cast. The film starred Charlton Heston as Moses, Yul Brynner as Ramses, and Ann Baxter as Nefertiti. The racial climate, number of black actors, and opportunities provided to then were very difficult in 1956, however. Versus today, when it's supposed to be, post Martin Luther King and all of that, and Black Panthers and all this other racial equality that's supposed to be going on, you can't cast, and there's enough black actors out there, you can't cast a black cast to put this movie out.
Hey, they they making movies about so-called black leaders, like they now they want to come out with a movie about Martin Luther King and all that, and they got a black man playing that, but they ain't gonna give you the real, the men in the Bible, the prophets. If they was to make movies about them like they've been doing, they ain't gonna have black people playing them, man. Because it'll open up too much of a visual, and Jake will start to see that, man.
Yeah. Now I realize that Jake's waking up anyway. It says right here, the Bible says both Egyptians and Ethiopians are descendants of Ham, which we just read, right? In the Bible dictionary. The petition reads, remember, Egypt wasn't invaded by Rome until 300 BC, which the brother was talking about with the Ptolemaic and the Seleucid empires, right? Yep. It says Egypt is in Africa, not Europe. And then they didn't even rule Europe back then. If you go back further, before the Greeks.
Nope.
So let's hit a couple of scriptures. Let's hit that one that you had about the bosom. Let's do that one.
Let me get this account real quick. This is Exodus 2:15. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses, but Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian, and he sat down by a well. Now this was after Moses slew that Egyptian that was beating a fellow Hebrew servant. It says, verse 16, now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and drew water and filled the troughs to water their father's flock. And the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. And when they came to Reuel, their father, he said, how is it that you are come so soon today? And they said, an Egyptian delivered us out of the hand of the shepherds, and also drew water enough for us and watered the flock.
They called him an Egyptian because he looked like an Egyptian.
Yep. So that only meant that if they called him an Egyptian, he looked like an Egyptian, and we understand, according to history and even artifacts, icons as such, the Egyptians were tall, lanky, dark-skinned people, super dark. Very, very dark. All right? So that means that Moses was a very dark-skinned man. But here we are today. The devil gonna be the devil, and Moses today is Christian Bill. You know?
Right. And that's what you have, right?
Moses couldn't be what's that Jake Hebrew dark?
You can name a bunch of.
A lot of them, right?
There's a bunch of Jakes that were.
Idris,
right.
Idris, what's his name?
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
I don't know his name like that, but that popular actor, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Moses couldn't have been that guy. But he had to be Christian Bale or somebody, you know, or Brad
again,
or fucking
man.
Brad Pitt or something.
Been Denzel again. Why not?
So like your Idris Elba, you know. But that's modern iconoclasm.
Right.
To condition everybody to think that all those people, all these great people in history, were basically one race of people.
Yep.
You know? But that's just to exercise superiority over the rest of the people, man.
Right. They're the vast minority. The so-called white man is the vast minority on the earth. But because he paints himself as everybody, and he's in every other land that he ain't supposed to be in, and he's in every time you look up on TV anywhere you see him, you're thinking that they're the majority, they outnumber everybody. That's a mind game that they're playing. That's witchcraft against you.
Yep.
So you won't think to rise up against him. That's the same reason why they paint our real Savior, Lord and Savior Yahweh Shai, as Jesus, the so-called white man.
That's right.
Same reason.
That's right.
Because it works on you simple-minded ass people.
Yep. It's Exodus chapter 4, verse 6. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
Leprous as snow. Now, the skin had changed color, and they gave you the color that it changed to, which was white, which tells you what leprosy is.
Yep.
Meaning it came out white. So if it was changed and was leprous as snow, what color was his hand before that? Not white.
That's right.
You don't have to know what color or how dark it was. You know that it wasn't white because it's now white.
That's right.
So you can't depict Christian Bale as Moses.
And he said, put thine hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Turned again, turned back as his other flesh. Back brown. A shade of brown.
Right.
That should tell you right there. Matter of fact, get the one. No. Get the one that says that called him a Hebrew. Called Moses a Hebrew.
Oh, that's back in the first chapter.
Yeah.
Khan, no, Salak, the second chapter. Exodus chapter 2, verse 1. And
We're talking about the same man. That's why we're reading it. We're talking about the same man. And he was a Hebrew. Because a lot of you people out there is worried about what color the Egyptians were when you're not even realize the Jews, the real Jews are black.
Yep.
You ain't even realizing that part. You arguing about what the Egyptians are.
They the
but you
fucking
don't-
heathens.
Yeah,
They was the ones that was
fuck.
oppressing people, man. And y'all tripping off of that. But the people of the Lord, they depicting them as you.
You people.
They depicting you,
We
your
talking to you,
forefathers, as these damn crackers, the same people that's oppressing you like the damn Egyptians was oppressing.
Right. You care more about what they were, your older oppressors were, just like you care about your new oppressors, more than you care about who you are. Who are you in the Bible? You still ain't put together that you the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in the Bible. And that the depiction of Moses should look like one of you.
It's Exodus 2 and 1. And there went a man of the house of Levi and took to wife a daughter of Levi. And the woman conceived and bare a son. When she saw him that he was a goodly child, she hid him 3 months. And when she could no longer hide him, she took for him an ark of bulrushes and dubbed it with slime and with pitch and put the child therein, and she laid in the flags by the river's bank.
She built a little raft, so to speak, to sell him out on. But wasn't they killing the babies back then?
That was when the decree came out.
The decree came out amongst the Egyptians. You worried about them killing our babies, just like the so-called white man was killing our babies, right? Just like Herod was killing our babies. You worried about the other-ass people, but you ain't worried about who you are today. Just like the so-called white man do today. And the reason he does that today, killing our babies, that decree is still out. With Planned Parenthood and abortion and all of that. But you people too stupid to realize they're doing that to the same people. You're the same people that continue to multiply in these heathen lands that's multiplying and can grow up. And once you realize that you're all together, can overthrow the so-called white man or whoever is ruling over you. Especially if you call upon the name of the Heavenly Father.
That's right.
And ask for forgiveness.
That's right. It says, and his sister stood afar off to wit what would be done to him. And the daughter of Pharaoh came down to wash herself at the river, and her maidens walked along by the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the flags, she sent her maid to fetch it. And when she had opened it, she saw the child, and behold, the babe wept. And she had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrew children.
This is one of the Hebrew children. She could tell, as an Egyptian woman, she could tell that was a Hebrew baby. She can tell. So we already proved that he's dark-skinned. And we can tell because he looks like them. We pulled his head out, it was leprous. And now it got back his color when he plucked it back out again. And then even Pharaoh them said he was a Hebrew.
The maiden.
The maiden, I mean, Pharaoh's daughter, I'm sorry, said that it was a Hebrew. You know? Now you get married, unless you got more.
Now let me go from there to Exodus. Difference between.
Oh yeah, it's like 7 or 7. That's like what you got.
11 and 7, I believe.
Yeah, I got it. Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord do put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
That's right, man. The
Because
Lord.
it's like real quick, because there's not a visual difference.
Right.
Go ahead.
Now, it was twofold because one, we were different than them regardless because we had different customs. We had different customs than the Egyptians, so we conducted ourselves in a different manner than them uncircumcised heathens.
Right.
You know. Also, the Lord made it known that He was dealing with us, and you would be able to tell the difference between the Egyptians and Israel at the time, because when the Lord started sending plagues among the Egyptians, you would know who the difference was by who's being affected by those plagues and who wasn't being affected by it. The children of Israel were kept safe, but the Egyptians, they were the ones that were being affected by the plagues. because the Lord was basically bringing judgment upon them because they were oppressing his people. The Lord severed his people from everybody else. We are a holy people unto him. All right? So whatever nation that has his people in captivity, that's who the Lord is going to judge.
Right.
And then he's going to show you his power, and as to why you should not be oppressing these people, because my power is within these people, man.
What's that scripture that says, because he went over, white man went over?
Because he perpetual hatred.
Yeah.
That's in Ezekiel. You know. Let me yeah, man. So it was a difference back then, but there was still dark race of people. There was still two dark-skinned nations, but one had the other in captivity.
Right.
And the Lord had to show his power.
Hey, and as Polite should know, all you Egyptologists out there, you should know, because if you go back and actually look at the pyramid hieroglyphs, it shows two dark-skinned people. And you can see the difference, how they drew the Egyptians versus how they drew the Hebrews. You can see there's a difference between them. It's more brown and less black in the ones that were doing the slavery work versus the ones that was. And their stature was built different as well.
Yep.
They were taller and longer limbed.
Yep.
Like a Hamite, like an African.
That's right. And which is the Philistines. The
Right.
Philistines go back to the Egyptians. You know, because like when you look it up, the Raphaim. So can you get Genesis 10 for me real quick, just to show it that the Philistines go back to the Egyptians, and the Philistines were known for their stature, man. The Philistines were fucking 10, 11 foot beings, man, and hella skinny. Like Goliath, when King David got into that battle with Goliath, and how they describe how large Goliath was, that was an Egyptian. And these were two dark people going at it, man.
Yeah. Our number one enemy was to cut all you Egyptologists.
Was
Africans.
the Africans, man. We were going to war with them all the damn time, man.
Every time you look up, he was going to war with them. The white man wasn't even on the scene. He was still a vagabond running throughout the earth trying to find peace.
Or he was in the mountains,
Right.
Mount Seir, you know, being a scared little coward that he is. Genesis 10.
Genesis chapter 10, verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim, and Put and Canaan. You know, which Mizraim is the Egyptians.
Yep. Now, let me go on
So when you look up these things, man, the problem is, y'all not studying to show yourselves approved, man. Because y'all ain't worried about salvation. Y'all not worried about, we're talking to you jakes, man. Y'all not worried about knowing the truth. You ain't worried about waking up out of this Holocaust-ass, murderous-ass nightmare that we're in. You know, when we kill ourselves and we allow them to kill us. You know, when we give them peace, but they bid us hatred right back to us. You ain't trying to wake up out of that. Only this Bible and this word and the Spirit of the Heavenly Father and the Lord is going to wake you up out of that. But a lot of you aren't even thinking about it. Did you find it?
No, it's a lot. My phone's slow and shit right now. Satan. Because I'm trying to show how you link the Philistines back to the Egyptians or the Mizraim. It might be in the 11th chapter.
It actually did that, but it didn't say Mizraim. You guys got to go back and do the homework, man, and figure out that Mizraim was the Egyptians. No, but if you look at who we just named, it's the same people. As a matter of fact, Put is is actually, so to put again.
Oh, here we go. It's, Genesis chapter 10, verse 13. And Mizraim begot Ludim, and Anim, and Lahebim, and Naphtuhim, and Pathrusim, and Casluim, out of whom came Philistim, and Caphtorim.
Which of the Philistines came out of that line, out of Ham, through Mizraim.
Yep.
You know, so, and it was funny, the Bible will tell you everything, but you gotta look and search, man.
That's right.
You know, then you gotta go back and do your own homework. If the blue letter came up, it's probably gonna tell you even more. You know? But that's how the spirit of Satan works. You don't want all that information to come out. Plus, it's for you people to go out and look up some of it for yourself. To study and show yourself when you go to the Most High. A workman needeth not to be ashamed, to do the work to find out truth. But you people are willingly ignorant. That's why you're just gonna go watch the movie, just see it for the action movie it is, talk about how wonderful an actor Christian Bale is and all of that, and you ain't gonna put two and two together. That movie is spiritual right now coming out, because we're trying to come out of this Egypt.
That's right.
We're trying to come out of this Egypt.
And we also, and with spirituals, we also battling our people that want to run back to Egypt.
Yes. They want to run
These
right back.
them niggas, man. They want to go back to being a fucking Egyptian, man.
Because that's the point, right? The point is, what we're talking about now, the fact that a lot of you people are worried about who the Egyptians are, and ain't talking about who the Jews are. Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's get that in Revelations chapter 3 and chapter 2. You're so worried about who the Egyptians are, you don't even realize that the heroes of the movie are as Moses, which are the Hebrews and the Israelites.
Hey, and going back to you, polite man, no, we didn't come out Egyptians because Israel, we like to get it in, man. Even in slavery, we get it in.
Right.
And we procreate the same commandment that the Lord told Adam to be fruitful and multiply.
Yep.
That goes for all nations. So we still Israelites, man.
Yep.
And the scriptures say there is no end of the people, man. Matter of fact, it's a lot. Read Ecclesiastes 4 and 16, and then we'll go to back to it, man. Cause I feel that you know what I'm saying, like brothers is wasting their time with these niggas and that Egyptology shit, man.
That's just broke.
If you an Egyptologist, just come out the fucking closet and admit that you're a homosexual. Just do it. Come out the if you trying to get into that whole Kemet, the whole Egyptology Kemet, the study of Kemet, just come out the closet and admit that you're a faggot, man. Because that's all it is, man. The study of homosexuality and phallic worship. That's all that shit is, man. Ain't nothing deep about no damn Egyptians fucking playing with each other's rods and shit, man. We in modern day Egypt trying to get out of this captivity. Fuck the ancient Egyptians, man. And they going into slavery in the kingdom. Along with these so-called white people that are oppressing us to this day.
Right.
Get that for me?
Yeah, I'm gonna start at 13 just for jump. Anyway, Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 13. It says, "Better is a poor and a wise child than an old and foolish king, who will no more be admonished." No, anyway, it says, "For out of prison he cometh to reign, whereas also he that is born in his kingdom becometh poor. I considered all the living which walk under the sun." Now you guys don't even realize that Egypt, the rose and fell, all these empires that rose and fell, it's kind of talking about that. That goes for even Israel. We was at the top of for a long moment, we was on the bottom, went to the top a little while, went back to the bottom, and we getting ready to rise back up also. It says, "I consider all the living which walk under the sun, with the second child that stand up in his stead. There is no end of all the people."
There is no end of all the people.
Even of all that have been before them.
Even of those that have been before them.
They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit. Trying to figure out what happened before and what will happen in the future.
There's no end of us, man.
Right.
There's no end, man. So that argument that Polite is trying to come with by trying to insinuate that we could possibly be the Egyptians because we was in captivity under Egyptians for 400 years. That's bullshit, man.
Hey, why
And then he said because of our doctrine that it's possible that we no longer Israelites, we so-called white people. That's bullshit, man.
why we want to be any of them people?
That's bullshit,
you
man.
know, that don't even
Yeah,
make
they
sense.
raped us for so long, but that still don't mean anything, man. You got tares among the wheat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The Lord is gonna get rid of them. They're gonna be separated from us.
Yeah.
We know how to identify through the spirit who's our people and who's not, man.
Right.
We don't go by carnality. That's what y'all like to do. We spiritual up here, man. And everything that's spiritual, the natural man cannot discern.
Nope.
It doesn't belong unto you to understand these things.
But that's part of our job, trying to get you out of being that simple as natural mind state and start asking for spiritual growth from the Most High, who is our power, so you can grow spiritually and figure these things out for yourself. So you have an opportunity to obtain salvation if you're of the elect.
Right.
I'm gonna go into about the Jews right quick. This is I'm gonna start at Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie.
Yeah, you a so-called white person, but you calling yourself a Jew? You a damn lie, man. You a bold-faced lie to call yourself a Jew. You didn't get that land because you was appointed that land from the Most High. You brought y'all vagabond, folky asses up in there, man. You snuck your asses in there. You know?
That's why the pit is mightier than the sword.
You had to use a decree to get up in that land, man.
I said out of order. That's why the pit is mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
It says, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
Yeah.
That says a lot, man. You should know who the Jews are today. They're the only ones calling themselves Jews, the Jewish people. 2 and 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
Hey, that's why it's beautiful to see Jake wake up, man.
Yeah.
That video with them Jakes out there getting roused up in Ferguson.
Yeah.
You had that one Jake with the burgundy and white mask was like, hey man, you ain't Jewish. I'm the real Jew.
Yeah.
Y'all the devil. You know
Matter
what
of
I'm
fact, it's time for y'all to get up out of here.
saying? You know?
Totally.
Be like end of conversation.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing to say to us, man. We figured you devils out, man. Now we know who we are. Now we know why we getting
Like
oppressed.
that other Jake, he was like, man, what are you coming interviewing us for? If you
Exactly.
don't know that this ain't right what's going on, then what are you here interviewing us for?
Yep. Jake was about to pounce on his ass, man.
Right.
Jake was
And
ready to choke
rightfully
his
so.
ass out, man.
Because you ain't doing nothing but being a devil. You're going to use that hatred to further demonize our people, to make it all right for these so-called white cops to keep popping us off.
It shouldn't even be a question, because he asked he asked them, and that's what got them mad. Do you feel that there's? I want to know, did justice, be met? And they like, what the fuck you mean? They didn't even go to trial. What are you talking about? And he was trying to play like he didn't know what was going on.
I don't understand. What do you mean you don't understand? Well, we're supposed to just ignore the fact that our people are getting killed, and your people's the ones doing it, and you're not getting no type of justice the same way we get it? Like, we shoot you. They put us under the jail. They shoot us, and they go home. They go on vacation. Let me get this one, bro. Then I'm gonna jump back to like I said. So I'm gonna go straight to this one. This is Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Look at black there.
Hey, that's plain. Now, if you get another translation, the word there is not going to be black because they tried to change it up. But if you know Hebrew, you know where the errors are. In the King James Bible, they have it as black, which is supposed to be there. Why? Because when you go back into the Hebrew for that word, the Hebrew is put dark, which means dark skin.
Yep.
You know, or black skin.
Which proves the Jews, which are the Hebrews, as well as the other 11 tribes, are also dark-skinned people, which
right.
don't fit with that Exodus movie. No pictures, please, sir. Sir, no pictures, please. No pictures, please. Please, no pictures. Please, no pictures.
They gonna still be the
No
devil.
pictures, please. No pictures, please. No, please. But you can
Y'all
take
think
that
that-
mental picture, though. Take the mental picture.
Man, they think this is a sideshow, man. That's what these devils. Hey, see,
That's what that is.
they. All right, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You know, because the so-called white man proves that he doesn't respect nobody, man.
Right. If he ain't the wicked on the earth, man, who is?
He doesn't have respect for nobody, man.
Not even for himself. If he ain't the devil on the earth, he ain't the Satan on the earth, he ain't the wicked on the earth, who else, man? Name somebody else got fucking disrespectful on the earth. Now, we're not saying all people with white skin is. We're saying the so-called Edomites are, which are the true biblical nationality of the so-called white man. Which his real skin color is red because his blood shows because he has no pigment through his skin because he has no pigment. We're talking about that man.
This
The
man
ones
is
that
the
go
devil,
back
man.
to the forefather of Esau, the
Hey.
sons of Esau and Edom.
Like seriously, how snapping pictures of people you don't know. You
All
know,
that says, all right, if I take a picture,
right? Or come at least and hear what we're saying before you even snap a picture.
right.
That's truly the devil, man. Or they might have been agents any damn way, man.
They were together. They looked like they were
They were
together.
together.
But they were together.
They were probably agents snapping pics at us anyway.
With them
But they want to
wonderful
put
ass
us up in them records, man. We don't care though. We come out here to do the bidding of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man.
That's right.
We don't care how many the scouts y'all come out and snap pics of us. You
Roll
know,
on. You can roll on us, man.
we
Whatever.
don't give a shit,
We know what
man.
the scriptures say. As a matter of fact, in Revelation 2 and 10, right after the one we just read in Revelation,
Yep.
we know some of us going to get cast into prison. We even know some of us going to get decapitated and murdered for the word of the Lord. But we take that willingly. If you bringing it,
Yep.
if that's what we got to go through to make it into the kingdom of heaven, we're going to take it to get out of this whack-ass society. To get you out of the power seat, we will do that. I'll be a martyr to get you out of that power seat. You know? But you coming out that power seat, whether you like it or not. No matter what nobody think and nobody say, you can whitewash all these movies, but the elect know the truth, man. The elect know the truth. If they don't fully know the truth, they will fully know the truth when the day comes. Because they will be rosing up out of this and they will take your ass down.
Look, and he's still taking pictures from afar. See, that's how you know that's an agent, man. He's an agent. He's way
got
across
that
the
good ass, and he
street.
got a
He's
good-
way across the
enjoy the
street,
picture, you can see
way
my
over there, and
fingerprint.
he's snapping pictures down
See a
this way.
fingerprint of my middle finger. You deserve that. I thought they was gonna do it there.
That's
They
how you
are
know,
doing it.
man.
They
These
are doing
motherfuckers
it.
are sent, man.
They do it up at the top of the stairs. But hey, so what, man? So what? You see how long that lens was? You can zoom in
I
and
know.
see my fucking thoughts with that
I know.
big ass camera.
I know.
Get a good picture of my fingerprint, stupid ass.
But the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is gonna destroy these motherfuckers, man.
And everybody that picture is for, that looks at that picture that you gonna show with hatred for the people in that picture.
Yep.
For the hatred, because you don't hate us, you hate the Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. It ain't us. That goes on to our own people too. Well, you look at us like that, and our own people look at us like something wrong with us as well. It ain't nothing wrong with us. There's something wrong with y'all, man. And all of our people should be, all the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans should be doing what we doing. All the men should be doing what we doing. Standing up in his face. Get that, bro. And, Wisdom of Solomon 5.